Good afternoon. Hi, everybody.
Hello, hello.
Hi, Laura. How are you this
I
afternoon?
am fabulous, Sue. How are you?
Very good. Get yourself on your watch party. Here we
Yeah, I
go.
am looking on my Facebook now so I can share it to my screen. I don't see us yet on Facebook.
Okay.
So, how are you?
I tell you what, I'm great, and I'm incredibly excited about what we're doing today. I am really pumped about our topic and about its value in our lives, and really, really excited about what we're sharing and what we've already put together.
Me too. And so stick around. Stick around. There it is. Okay, cool. Sue, why don't you share what the topic is today while I share this?
All righty. What we're going to be talking about today is we're calling it a new perspective on your healthy lifestyle. And the reason that we selected that is that a lot of things we've been doing lately have been putting us into a different lifestyle temporarily. And it's, like we often talk about a season in our life, different things that happen. Perhaps you break a leg and you're all of a sudden you're out of commission for a while, or you start traveling for work, and it shifts our lifestyle. Well, we've got a global pandemic going on, and that's done a lot of things to many of us to shift our lifestyles. And now what we're seeing is that we have an opportunity to reevaluate our lifestyle and start making choices again to move it forward. And so what we wanted to do was to kind of have us raise to everybody's level of awareness our lifestyles. Are we comfortable with what they are? Would we like to make some changes? And if we did, what are some things we can think of so that we can either decide we want to stay the way we're doing it, or we want to make some changes? So we're going to chat about that for about half an hour.
Yes, we are. And if you see me shaking my head, it's because I'm on your Facebook profile and I do not see it.
Oh, well, hopefully it'll be coming up soon. And I'm pointing down because hopefully if it gets there on the profile, you can put comments in there.
Yes, please let us know where you are coming from. And if you're watching the replay, #replay, let us know where you are watching from.
Okay. So what we're actually doing, today we're doing just a little bit of an excerpt of something that we each talk about in a lot more detail. And we're evaluating taking this and actually putting it into more detail. But why don't we go ahead and just get started? Have you seen it there on Facebook yet?
Yes, I just saw it, and I just started a watch party, so we are all good.
We are all good.
I think I'm going to look into some technology so that we don't have to do this. It can like show up on both of ours. I'm sure. Hey, anybody watching, if you know how to do that, like when we go live, if it'll stream in multiple places at once, I would love for you to comment below and let us know how to do that.
Well, we can do it in multiple places. It's having it on multiple Facebook profiles at the same time.
Thank you.
Because we're streaming it. Yes, we're streaming it on YouTube and Facebook on a profile and Facebook on a page. So we're doing lots of different things. But
thank you for clarifying that.
At any rate, Laura, take a few minutes, please, and introduce yourself. So if anybody hasn't met you yet, they'll get a little background.
Absolutely. My name is Lora Ulrich, and my company is The New You Lifestyle. I'm a certified holistic nutritionist, executive wellness coach, and I really love working with women to help them crack the code to living a healthy lifestyle so you feel better and love your body. And the better we feel physically, mentally, and spiritually, the more prepared we are to be successful in our personal and our professional lives. That's how I roll. And Miss Sue, please share with everybody who you are and what you do.
My name is Sue Ryan. I'm the founder of Creative Business Coaches, and I work with individuals who are ready to take their personal and professional excellence to the next level. And we start from the inside out, and I do that through coaching and professional speaking, as well as through my written communications. I am in the process of writing a book called The Prodigy Zone, where I talk about all of us being a prodigy. Many of us are undiscovered, and so it's how we can discover our prodigy and live our best lives.
Excellent.
And that's what we're all meant to do, is to live our best lives.
Amen, sister. Amen.
So Laura, let's start when we talk about lifestyle and the things that are in there. Why don't you kick it off with kind of what is it we mean when we say lifestyle?
Basically, it's how we're living, right? We're not talking about diets. It's a healthy lifestyle are the things that we choose to do in our life that are going to help us reach our goals of whatever your goal is, right? Nobody is the same.
Mhm.
People typically are looking to feel better, have more energy, take 100 years to look 50, have, don't have any health, right? Um, Feel better and love their body,
Yes.
basically, because then we feel more confident, and then it really affects our life in many different areas. And a healthy lifestyle could be our physical things that we do, our mental things, our, spiritual things, if you will. They're the things that we do and don't do that help us to feel our best
Hmm.
physically and mentally.
And live our best lives,
Our best lives. It
which is
all rolls together.
great. One of the things that we did today is we created a ground rule for this. And our number one ground rule is that in today's conversation and in anything you're doing following this up with focusing on your lifestyle is there are no shoulds and there is no judgment.
No
It's not I
judgment.
should have done this or I shouldn't have done this. And it's not I'm a terrible person because I did this or people are going to judge me if I do this or anything like that. We are starting from today. We are beautiful, wonderful people, and we are going to take and build from today to formulate what starting right here our best lives are.
No
And
should haves. No shitting on yourself.
no shooting on yourselves. Absolutely. Laura, when we talk about that, what is the first thing that helps us get started? Where do we plant our seeds so that we're starting with moving our lifestyle forward?
Absolutely. The first thing that we start with, excuse me, is commitment. We have to figure out for ourselves, right?
Mhm.
And it doesn't matter where we've been, what didn't work before, what we said, whatever. It's a commitment
Mhm.
to ourselves to follow through and follow up on a plan that's going to help us get what we want. So we need to commit full on. And a really cool thing, how that works subconsciously is that when we honor ourselves
Mhm.
and we are true to our word and keep our promises to ourselves, it makes our confident. I mean, our confidence goes through the roof, whether we realize it or not, because we have now kept a promise to ourselves. For
Mhm.
example, getting up in the morning and drinking water first thing in the morning. Think of many different things it could be,
Yep.
personally or professionally.
Mhm.
The commitment is the first thing that I believe is important. Committing to what we want to be doing. Well, first we have to figure out what our plan is, right? But then even before figuring out what our plan is, we want to have a commitment to
Yeah.
ourselves that we're going to have a plan
Mhm.
that we can then carry through because we now know where we're driving because we know where we want to go.
Excellent. And one of the things that's really important, we're going to talk about this throughout our whole time together, but one of the things that's really important with that is where we're starting, we're talking about baby steps. And and one of the things that I know for me personally has caused me to derail in maintaining my commitments is when I make so many of them
Mm,
that they overwhelm me or that when I can't live up to one day, I make that be for everything. And so when we're going to commit full on for everybody here, I mean, that could just be that, I'm going to start thinking about it. Whatever it is, whenever you commit to, make it as tiny as you need to make it so that you can commit to it because we're just starting. Does that make sense?
Totally makes sense. And for those people that are already on a healthy lifestyle, but they want to get to the next level,
Yes.
it applies to everybody because regardless of where you are, and don't look at everybody, nobody else's, don't look on anybody else's side of the street.
That's right.
Wherever you personally are,
Hmm.
and knowing wherever you want to take that next step is not to overwhelm yourself because when we're in overwhelm, then we get frustrated and confused, and then we don't do, we typically tend to not do anything. So it's just that next step.
Yes.
And I know there are people that have different personality types, right? So when you're talking about baby steps, for you, that may be one baby step. For me, it may be three baby steps. It doesn't matter. It's all perfect as long as you're honoring yourself.
Exactly. And if we are in a great place already and we want to go to the next step, our commitment could be that we're not going to just plateau here. So what we're going to do is evaluate what we're doing, and our next step could be honoring what we've already done, really celebrating that and say, okay, now I want to get clarity on what my next challenge is. What's my next level?
Yeah.
And so, like you were saying, this is completely different for everyone. It's in different areas of our lives and all. So the first thing we're going to do is we're not going to shit on ourselves or anyone else. We're not going to have any judgment. Second thing we're going to do is we're going to commit full in. Whatever it is we're doing, wherever it is we are, teeny tiny baby step or bigger step, we're going to commit full on to that. And so what would the third thing be?
Intentionality. Be intentional, right? We have to plan. We have to have that intention and then the plan so that we can put it into action. And I think we should give a couple of examples about that too, because for intentional, like let's say, for example, we're talking about our eating. We want to change the way we feel physically, maybe drop some pounds and not get them back again because we're not going to be on the roller coaster, right? Whatever that is, we're talking about nutrition and wellness right now. So intentionally, we then need to figure out what time are we going to eat. Now, I make my own schedule. However, I still plan my feeding times because I need to have, just like we knew we were going to get on here at 3:00. Cool. If I don't really know when I'm going to be eating, which is going to serve me best, to help my goals and help me get what I want, then how is it going to happen?
Right.
So planning our meals would be a great example, as well as being intentional now so we know what we want to eat and maybe what we don't want to eat. And by the way, for anybody that's interested in getting a sample meal plan and my document that's called the Recommended Foods to Eat Guide so that you're not going to spike your blood sugar, drop a comment below, let me know your email address or private message me and I'd be happy to share that with you.
Great.
And preparing what we're going to eat. I love cook once, eat multiple times, right? Then I know that I don't have to worry about X amount of meals. I need to prep and plan and prepare. So I need to go to the grocery store so that I have options that are going to serve me rather than going, oh my God, what am I going to eat? What's in the house? What do I do? Right? And another thing that I love about planning and preparing is to have quick, healthy, fast food options, if you will, for when my prepared food is already gone, right? I've already eaten it for a few days. And now it's 7:00 and I'm hungry and I don't have an hour to wait to make my food. And so I have some things that, some foods that I make sure that I have around, like say spaghetti squash or whatever, lentil soup, certain things that I can have a healthy, satisfying, fulfilling meal, but yet it only takes a few minutes. So because I've planned for that.
That's been huge for me as well, is planning for it and then preparing it ahead of time so that when I just want to, for example, if I just wanted to reach for a snack, I'm going to give you an example from my professional life, one of the things I've learned for me. And one of the things that we all know is I, for example, am a person who wakes up at 4:45 in the morning and I am ready to go. And so I get up, I go to the gym every day. So I want breakfast. I am hungry for breakfast. I'm the breakfast like a king, lunch like a prince, dinner like a pauper, and I want a snack, some snacks in between. When I look at my professional life and the things that I'm accomplishing, I do the same kind of a thing in planning. What is it that I want to accomplish in what arenas? And then I break those things down into what's something, if I had 15 minutes, what are the kinds of things I could do in 15 minutes? What are the kinds of things that require me to have more capacity to think, where I really want to invest thinking time? For example, for me, that time is in the morning. And I'll tell you what I've done is that while I love to go to the gym, and I'll do that 6 or 7 days a week to do something, I now find that because my mental acuity is so much stronger, I'll invest an hour in writing, and I will shift off. I'll make adjustments. I've changed the way that I work out, so I'm working out harder, but I'm not working out every day. And then I have my time to read. Later in the evening, I don't have as much mental capacity. I could be creating images or things like that. So I have created and planned and prepared the time of day as well as the length of time for things that I focus on so I can be more successful. And I always have them just like a snack. I've always got them at the ready. I can quickly glance at something and say,
Nice.
oh, here we go. So
It's a healthy lifestyle for your business.
Yes, it's hugely helpful. One of the other things that I wanted to talk about that I have also found, and we were chatting about this a little bit earlier, this comes into scheduling, it comes into a lot of things. And it also, for some of us who are type A personalities who say yes, we see something and we want to do it. It's, what is it that I'm saying no to? So I can say yes to something else. And I'll give you a perspective on that as it relates to my writing the book and my exercising. When I'm saying no to exercising every day, I'm saying yes to investing time in writing the book. And so I am saying, you know, I'm willing to make that as a trade-off. And another thing would be if somebody says, hey, Sue, would you please do this for me? And I look at my calendar, and in order for me to do that for them, I would have to take writing the book or exercise off of my calendar. And I can look, again, no should, no judgment. I can say, what's the highest and best use of my time? If I say no, if I have to make room in my calendar to say yes to this, what is it I have to say no to? And so we kind of honor that. What might be some examples from the health and fitness side of that, Laura?
Well, exercise, you talked about that a little bit. You know, I make sure that I love going to Pilates and I love being on the reformer. It just helps my body. And so I make sure that I'm going 4 days a week, at least. I like to go 5. However, this week I'm going to go with a girlfriend for a walk. And it's actually not a walk, it's a hike out in the, triple digit heat index. And so I know for me that first of all, I'm not going to take the time to work out for 2 hours, nor is that good for my body because then it taxes me too much. So because I wanted to go with Karen on this hike tomorrow, I'm not going to the Pilates class. One of the other things too, as far as our healthy lifestyle and a spiritual, I don't know, spiritual or focusing on
self-awareness, perhaps.
I love it. Self-awareness.
Yeah.
I used to love sleeping. I mean, I still love sleeping, and I'm not the one that wakes up early in the morning. But I would love to sleep until the last possible second and then get ready and hurry. Well, with age comes wisdom. And now I don't like rushing. And so I wake up a little earlier. Plus, I make sure that I have my you can call it meditation time, you can call it gratitude time, you can call it whatever you want, but I take 5-10 minutes every morning to do certain things that help me be grounded and intentional in my perception of what I'm going to be doing in the day.
Yes.
Makes me more calm then when I come downstairs, I can still be spinning in my type A personality, but my feet are on the ground. And so since I know that totally serves me and how I want to feel and be and do and all that stuff, I then made the choice of sleeping a little less. We're talking 10-15 minutes, right? Waking up a little bit earlier so that I get that, and I keep looking upstairs because that's where I do it, where I then have the time without wondering what time it is to be able to do my gratitude stuff, my self-care things that I choose to do to start my day. Those are very important aspects of our healthy lifestyle as well. How we start our day and then how we end our day so that it's serving us because then we're happier and then the people around us will be happier as well.
And so that's an excellent example because whatever we're doing, wherever, if you want to call it a trade-off, or I like to say, what is it I'm saying no to so I can say yes to something else so that it's really this is a yes or a no. It's not that one is right or wrong. It is that in this particular choice, in this particular time, if I'm going to be really committed to all in for me, and I'm going to be very intentional about it, I'm going to look at the choices I'm making and say, I'm saying yes to this. And so I'm going to say no to that in this particular time. And it allows us to stay really present, to stay balanced, and to look at what we're doing and feel better about the choices that we're making. And yet, life does sometimes interrupt, best laid plans and all of those things. So what would you say about our next point?
So let me piggyback on that for a second, though, because when we're talking about healthy lifestyle, everybody, 80% of it is nutrition as well. And so then when I'm talking to my clients, sometimes they'll be like, oh, I didn't do this, or I did do that, and I wish I wouldn't have. And so then we can also walk through, kind of like the no and yes thing, walk through, okay, when this situation happens again, what can you do differently? For example, night cravings. Like everybody has night cravings, especially when we haven't made the choices that we wish we would have during the day. Nighttime always seems to be the hardest for people. And so rather than, and this is an exercise that people should do and actually write it down. So when I'm having a craving for the chocolate, the ice cream, the chips, whatever, because you're hungry, angry, whatever. You're not hungry actually. Let me rephrase that. You're not hungry because you've eaten dinner and you're really not hungry. It's just you're trying to fill that void, or it's become a habit of using food to relax.
Okay.
And so down a couple of things when I'm having a craving at night and I know I'm not hungry. Have options already written down, because when you're in that space, your brain's not going to be your friend. It's going to say, go get the food. It'll be okay. We'll start tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then you'll feel like, oh no, I wish I wouldn't have done that, right? You'll shoot on yourself. Have a couple of things ready and available on a piece of paper that you can pull out and go, oh, okay, instead of reaching for the food, I can, totally tease my kids and start dancing around in the living room, and they'll be like, oh no, or call a friend or take a bath or go for a walk, whatever it is that's going to work for you. Have a couple of strategies, a plan, if you will, of what you're going to do different instead of reaching for the food.
Yes. So we called that next time, that when certain things don't work out the way we wanted, or something else comes up for us, the number one thing we're doing is we're acknowledging it. With next time, it's saying, okay, this is what's going on. This is what happened. I'm not judging it. I'd like some choices. I'd like some things. So for example, as it relates to, I wanted to do this, or I wanted to go to the gym and I didn't because I decided I was going to sleep in. Okay. Next time when I decide I want to sleep in, I'm going to ask myself 3 questions. Am I really tired? Do I just feel like not going to the gym? Is there something wrong? Or, whatever you come up with, all you're doing is you're raising to your level of consciousness, to your awareness, that you're intentionally thinking about it. You may still choose to roll over. You may still choose to have the chips. What you've done, though, is rather than it being an unconscious reaction, you're saying, I'm inviting myself into the consideration of an alternative choice.
Well, taking action rather than reacting.
You're consciously acting. You're taking a choice. And so when we talk about this, the thing about next time, we know the world's going to interfere. We know that there's going to be a craving. We know that we're going to want to not do this. We're going to be tempted by those things, and that's okay. Those are really pivotal, positive opportunities for us to make choices.
Totally.
And so it often those things are things that is like, great, you know what? I do want to get up and I do want to go to the gym. And yeah, it would be easy. And if I did do that, then I wouldn't be able to get as strong as I want. And so when we talk about next time, again, no judgment, and it's no shoulding. We just raise it to our level of awareness so we're able to respond and make choices, not unconsciously react. Now,
there's one more thing too, because sometimes I make choices to do things not because I like doing the thing, but because I like the benefit or the result.
Got it.
So sometimes, like, a lot of people don't really love working out. Okay, so we can honor that. I don't really love it, but I love the benefit. So then do what you need to do to get what you want.
That's an actually perfect segue into our final point, which is, while a lot of these are integrated, actually, that, for example, for me to work out and to really want to develop muscle and have a lot of energy, if I wake up in the morning and I have 3 candy bars, I'm probably not going to be supporting myself doing that. And so
Yeah.
I'm able to connect something in one area of my life to another area of my life. However, what we want to make sure we're doing when we are looking at the goals that we're setting, when we're looking at our intentionality, when we're deciding what we want to do, is to find one area to focus on in the beginning.
Yeah, for sure.
And so talk a little bit about that from your perspective, Laura. Why is it so important for us, even if we're ultimately going to look at all of the areas of our lives, why is it important to start with just one?
Well, so then we're not overwhelmed. So then we have a focus, and doesn't seem like a lot of extra added work. We're focusing on one area because the strategy, the plan, the stuff that we're talking about, you can apply this to anything in any part of your life, your business, your relationships, all areas of your life. And so picking one area to start with so that you can become good at it, so it feels like it's not extra work, so that it starts to feel like it's just part of who you are and what you do. It's just a thing you do. Then we can work on the next thing. Otherwise, kind of like fitness trainers always tell you, oh my gosh, when you start working out, don't work out for an hour every day, because then the second day you wake up and you can't even sit on the toilet. Well, who's going to go work out after that, right?
Right.
Same kind of concept, so that you have space in your mind and in your life, because we can always make an excuse for why we can't do something, right? This is giving us the space and the permission to focus and do one thing, incorporate it into our life, and then move on to the next area.
Which is great. The things that I've learned in my life for that complement what you're talking about is there are 2 things. One is that the more I do something in one area, the more it pulls me to another area naturally, where I want to have more of that.
Love it.
And it's going to be kind of an automatic thing. The other thing that I've found really important in this is that we have a dominant emotion when we're under stress. And if we don't get clarity on what that is, that dominant emotion overarches everything that we do in our lives. And so we can't get clarity in one area or another area. It's that it kind of clouds everything. And the more that we focus on improving in one area, the more clarity we have about saying, now I'd like to take a look at this other area, or gee, I see that if I do something in this other area, I can have that. Then we can ask ourselves, how do we feel about this area? What would we like to do? We can set goals. We can do all the things of being committed and having intentionality and making the choices and looking at adaptations authentically in that particular area, instead of being overwhelmed by one emotion in everything, which does overwhelm us, and it's going to cause us to say, I put my hands up. This has been exciting. I would like for us to keep going, but we've only got a couple minutes left. So to kind of wrap it up, we talked about the fact that we're going to start, whether we make this commitment for a day, a week, a month, whatever it is, in order for us to look at making changes in our lifestyles. No judgment, no shoulds. We're going to commit all in. We're going to pick one area that we can be absolutely intentional about and authentic with what that is for us. We're going to ask ourselves questions about it. We're going to explore what it is. When we have adjustments we need to make, we're going to say, okay, well, next time I choose to do this. We're going to start by focusing on one area of our lives and then allowing that to pull us in, or consciously choosing other areas of our lives. What final comments would you have for us, Laura?
The thing that just popped into my head when you said that is, yes, you can do it. It doesn't matter how many times you've tried before. It doesn't matter how many other things you have tried before for your healthy lifestyle, for you to become your best self. Yes, you can. Nothing doesn't matter what happened in the past. It's just moving forward and becoming who you are meant to be and how you are meant to feel. Yes, you can. That's what popped into my head.
I agree 100%. And that is, we are meant to be that. So yes, we can. And, thank you guys very, very much. Pop comments in there. If you've got any other questions for either Lora or me or both of us, let us know. We're glad to do everything we can support you because, like you said, Lora, we are meant to live our best lives, our healthiest lifestyles. And for whatever that means to you, let's start today. Pinky promise that we're going to do it.
And it's teamwork. You're not supposed to do it by yourself. Like, we're not supposed to be doing things by ourselves. It's okay, and you should ask for help so that you can get what you want. So, oh my God, this was such a fabulous conversation, Sue. I love doing this with you. And again, drop a comment below if you're watching the replay. If you have any questions, we will circle back and make sure that we address them. And have a fabulous day, everybody.
And we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.